In the shimmering, ever-expanding world of celebrities where success and vulnerability walk hand in hand, there exists a universe of stories that feel larger than life yet deeply human, and as we begin this long, heartfelt journey together, it is like sitting with a friend who gently leans in to whisper how the stars we admire have risen, fallen, grown, laughed, stumbled, and triumphed in ways that inspire millions. For when we think of the iconic glow of Blake Lively and the charismatic warmth of Ryan Reynolds, we see not just glamorous red carpets, but to people who built their careers with dedication, authenticity, and playful humor, drawing fans into their orbit with kindness and charm. And now, as they receive heartfelt support from a close pal amid the Justin Baldoni lawsuit, the moment becomes a reminder that even celebrities need gentle encouragement during stressful times, and the compassion extended toward them reflects the bonds that flourish behind the scenes, reminding us that fame does not erase the need for emotional support. And from this intimate beginning, our narrative stretches outward to trace the arcs of countless figures whose lives illuminate the cultural sky, like Zendaya, whose transformation from child star to global icon has been marked by grace, artistic courage, bold fashion choices, and a steady voice advocating for confidence and balance, inspiring fans who see themselves reflected in her evolution. And just as her story unfolds, we flow into the meteoric rise of BTS, whose members began as hopeful trainees navigating immense pressure before transcending boundaries through music that champions unity, emotional honesty, and empowerment, touching hearts across continents with their sincerity and the way they uplift youth around the world. And then our journey glides into the realm of Keanu Reeves, whose understated kindness and resilient spirit continue to make him a beloved figure as he supports charities, values humility, and reminds everyone that gentleness is a powerful force in a turbulent world. And from there we drift into the magnetic artistry of Beyoncé, whose unmatched talent, meticulous craft, and philanthropic devotion have carved a legacy that celebrates culture, empowerment, motherhood, and creative expansion, influencing millions to dream boldly and move with purpose while embracing their authentic selves. And next, our path turns toward the comedic brilliance and vulnerable charm of Melissa McCarthy, whose rise from uncertain beginnings to award-winning roles demonstrates that joy and laughter can transform doubt into confidence, and that embracing individuality opens doors to possibility. And as we continue this flowing mosaic, we step into the realm of athletic greatness with Serena Williams, whose journey from Compton courts to global dominance has been fueled by discipline, courage, and unwavering determination, while she also advocates for equality, motherhood, and empowerment, leaving a legacy of resilience for generations. And from the courts of tennis, we shift to the grandeur of Bollywood, where Shah Rukh Khan, a self-made megastar, emerged from modest circumstances to become a worldwide symbol of romance with intelligence and generosity, using his platform to support education, healthcare, and humanitarian relief while maintaining an intimate bond with devoted fans. And with a soft cinematic turn, we lean into the rhythmic world of Shakira, whose vibrant music, philanthropic missions, and dedication to childhood education exemplify how cultural pride and compassionate action can ripple across the world. And then we find ourselves drawn to the raw talent and fearless honesty of Florence Pugh, whose rise has been shaped by emotional authenticity, bold performances, and a refreshing transparency that resonates with fans seeking realness in an age of curated perfection. And with a rhythmic pulse, our journey leads to the global phenomenon of Blackpink, whose members forged their path through rigorous training before dazzling international audiences, with their powerful performances, striking fashion, and message of confidence inspiring young fans to embrace strength, creativity, and unity across languages and cultures. And as the momentum builds, we turn to Tom Holland, whose humble beginnings, contagious enthusiasm, and heartfelt appreciation for supporters have made him a beloved figure, while he balances blockbuster success with charitable work and efforts to bring joy to communities around the world. And with this uplifting energy, we move toward Rihanna, whose journey from a small island in Barbados to worldwide superstardom demonstrates how vision, resilience, and authenticity can forge new lanes, as she pioneers inclusive beauty, philanthropy, and fashion, while still maintaining a grounded connection with fans. And from her influence, we glide toward Chris Hemsworth, whose path from Australian television to global superhero showcases blends discipline, family devotion, and environmental advocacy, as he encourages others to pursue wellness, balance, and respect for nature. And then we step into the multifaceted career of Priyanka Chopra Jonas, who crossed cultural barriers and industries, Through unwavering ambition and compassion, using her platform to advocate for children's rights, education, and global representation, offering a roadmap for navigating dreams on an international scale. And as these stories intertwine, we arrive at the powerful arc of Lady Gaga, whose evolution from underestimated artist to worldwide activist and performer reflects resilience, self-acceptance, and creative bravery as she connects deeply with fans, encouraging mental health awareness, individuality, and kindness. And with this heartfelt current, we flow into the legacy of Chadwick Boseman, whose quiet dedication and profound performances continue to inspire long after his passing, reminding the world that strength, purpose, and empathy can change lives far beyond the screen. And from this emotional resonance, we drift toward the thoughtful rise of Bad Bunny, whose cultural impact, boundary-pushing artistry, and pride in Puerto Rican identity have empowered fans while he advocates for community, uplift, and creative liberation. And as our journey continues across continents and genres, the threads of celebrity stories begin to intertwine, forming a vast emotional tapestry that reminds us why we look up to these figures, not just for the glamour, but for the humanity woven into their paths, the struggles they face, the triumphs they earned, and the hope they inspire in millions of hearts around the globe. And as this tapestry of human experience expands before us, we drift seamlessly into the radiant journey of Selena Gomez, whose evolution from childhood stardom to globally respected artist, producer, and advocate reflects so much gentle strength as she opens conversations about mental well-being, emotional honesty, and the importance of taking care of oneself while supporting charities that uplift communities around the world. And from her heartfelt presence, we glide into the monumental rise of Jennifer Lopez, whose decades of dedication across music, film, dance, and entrepreneurship showcase how resilience, cultural pride, and fearless reinvention can shape an entire era of entertainment, inspiring countless fans to chase their own paths with passion and determination. And with a soft shift, we arrive at Michael B. Jordan, whose acting excellence combined with his mentorship and commitment to increasing representation in the industry reflect a desire to use fame not for isolation, but for empowerment, creating opportunities for new storytellers and voices to be heard. And as our journey continues, we step into the electrifying world of pop once more through the inspiring ascent of Twice, whose members overcame grueling training and fierce competition to become global icons, known for their cheerful energy, motivational messages, and deep gratitude toward fans who have supported their rise across borders and rhythms. And then, with a gentle cinematic turn, we follow the refined artistry of Cate Blanchett, whose thoughtful performances and humanitarian commitments illuminate her career as she continues to advocate for environmental protection, creative freedom, and global unity, serving as a reminder that elegance and compassion move powerfully together. And from this graceful presence, we reflect on the enduring legacy of Chadwick Boseman once more, whose profound portrayals and quiet generosity touch hearts worldwide, reminding us that purpose-driven work resonates far beyond fame and that our born from sincerity carries a timeless echo. And with this emotional thread guiding us forward, we arrive in the vibrant universe of Lady Gaga, where bold performance, art, emotional depth, and fierce advocacy merge into a message of self-acceptance, inclusion, and courage, creating a safe space for millions who see her as a beacon of creativity and healing. And gently we drift toward the rising impact of Timothée Chalamet, whose thoughtful roles, fashion influence, and humble connection with supporters have positioned him as a symbol of youthful artistry, showing how curiosity, kindness, and fearless exploration can inspire a generation. And from his soft-spirited journey, we move to the global stage of athletes like Lionel Messi, whose breathtaking skill, quiet humility, and dedication to helping children through charitable foundations transform his athletic achievements into a legacy of compassion, perseverance, and hope that resonates throughout the world. And as the narrative widens, we shift into the expressive world of Billie Eilish, whose unique sound, emotional vulnerability, and fearless individuality have pushed creative boundaries while reminding fans that authenticity is a strength that can carry them through uncertainty, challenges, and self-doubt. And with that same current of self-discovery, we pivot toward the legendary brilliance of Meryl Streep, whose countless roles and unwavering advocacy for the arts, equality, and empathy have solidified her as a guiding light in entertainment as she encourages new voices to rise and share their stories with depth and courage. And from this timeless artistry, we glide into the vibrant leadership of Megan Rapinoe, whose athletic excellence Bold advocacy and spirited resilience inspire millions to stand tall, fight for equality, and use their voices to shape a more inclusive world. And with that powerful momentum, we return to the spirited presence of Jason Momoa, whose charisma, environmental activism, and genuine interactions with fans capture the heart of a man who values Earth, family, and connection, reminding us that strength is often most meaningful when used to protect and uplift, and gently the narrative sways toward the poetic artistry of Lana Del Rey, whose dreamy music, introspective storytelling, and emotional openness have created a unique bond with listeners who find solace, comfort, and reflection in her work. And from that atmospheric world, we shift to the vibrant energy of Cardi B, whose bold personality, musical success, and philanthropic acts demonstrate how resilience, authenticity, and generosity can elevate a journey from challenges to triumph, empowering fans to embrace their voice with confidence and pride. And as we float across continents, once more we spotlight the global vibrance of Burna Boy, whose fusion of African rhythms, cultural storytelling, and boundary-pushing creativity has earned him international acclaim, while he continues to highlight African identity, social awareness, and the importance of uplifting local communities. And with each transition, we weave more threads into this vast emotional panorama of celebrity lives, each story reminding us that behind global fame lies discipline, heart, and a desire to create meaning through art, movement, inspiration, and compassion. And with this spirit guiding us, we return to the beautifully intertwined lives of Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds once again, as they continue to navigate their careers with grace, humor, activism, and a deep partnership, while receiving quiet support from close friends through the stressful noise surrounding the Justin Baldoni lawsuit, demonstrating that companionship and empathy remain essential even in the brightest spotlight. And as we expand this emotional cinematic journey, we turn toward the remarkable artistry of Ariana Grande, whose evolution from musical theater and television into a global pop phenomenon has been fueled by extraordinary vocal talent, dedication, and a genuine connection with fans, as she channels personal challenges into empowerment and creativity, while also supporting charitable initiatives for mental health education and social causes. And from her uplifting story, we glide toward the graceful emergence of Henry Golding, whose breakthrough performances and charismatic presence have allowed him to represent cultural pride, elegance, and versatility in cinema, while he continues to mentor aspiring actors and advocate for authentic storytelling. And seamlessly, our narrative drifts toward the legendary influence of Oprah Winfrey, whose journey from modest beginnings to becoming one of the most transformative voices in media embodies resilience, vision, compassion, and empowerment, inspiring generations while she champions education, philanthropy, and the pursuit of personal growth. And from this boundless inspiration, we step into the colorful world of K-drama stars like Park Seo-joon, whose dedication to craft, persistence, and thoughtful connection with audiences has made him a global sensation, while he maintains humility and appreciation for the support that fuels his creative journey. And as we continue across borders, the luminous Lupita Nyong'o reminds us that grace and talent combined with advocacy for representation, equality, and cultural storytelling can ripple through the hearts of millions, inspiring them to embrace authenticity and celebrate heritage. And then the story moves into the magnetic comedy and insight of Trevor Noah, whose rise from South African roots to international stardom demonstrates how humor, intellect, empathy, and resilience can foster global connection and reflection, while using his platform to elevate conversation and understanding. And just as his narrative inspires, we glide into the world of Taylor Swift, whose journey from country singer to global icon has captured hearts through lyrical honesty, fearless creativity, and her ability to forge deep connections with fans while supporting education, relief efforts, advocacy for equality, and empowerment. And as we soar from her artistic presence, we arrive at the comeback and resilience of Robert Downey Jr., whose career trajectory from turbulent early years to legendary cinematic achievements embodies redemption, reinvention, and perseverance, showing the world how determination combined with compassion and generosity can leave a lasting positive mark. And from that narrative of growth, we shift toward Anne Hathaway, whose dedication to diverse roles, artistry, and humanitarian work has made her a timeless figure, while she advocates for global equality, children's rights, and environmental awareness, demonstrating how talent and heart can coexist. And then the story flows into the teamwork and inspiring rise of pop stars Stray Kids, whose members overcame rigorous training to inspire millions worldwide through music performance, creativity, and a message of unity, teamwork, and self-belief. And from the vibrant energy of young performers, we find ourselves immersed in the enduring charm of Will Smith, whose decades of multifaceted talent, humor, and heartfelt storytelling highlight how perseverance, charisma, and generosity can shape a career that resonates across generations while encouraging growth, kindness, and community impact. And as the story unfolds further, we encounter Viola Davis, whose acting brilliance, powerful voice for equality, and mentorship for artists of color exemplify the profound influence one individual can have when artistry is married to advocacy. And from her luminous example, we glide into the global resonance of Ed Sheeran, whose humble beginnings, street performances, and extraordinary songwriting have built bridges of connection worldwide, while he contributes to charitable work for children, health programs, and local communities, reflecting how talent and heart create lasting impact. And from the world of music, we move to Dev Patel, whose journey from breakout roles to accomplished actor and humanitarian advocate highlights perseverance, humility, and cultural pride as he supports causes that uplift the vulnerable and encourage authentic storytelling. And gently, the narrative leads to Natalie Portman, whose lifelong commitment to education, acting, versatility, and activism for environmental and social causes demonstrates a blend of intellect, compassion, and artistry, inspiring audiences to engage with the world thoughtfully and creatively. And with the same spirit of influence and creativity, we explore the meteoric rise of The Weeknd, whose innovative sound, transformative performances, and philanthropic initiatives illustrate how personal vision combined with social consciousness can resonate across global communities. And finally, our narrative loops back to Timothée Chalamet, whose artistic growth, sincere interactions with fans, and commitment to authentic expression serve as a reminder that talent paired with humility, kindness, and courage can shape a generation of creative thinkers and dreamers. And as the story of celebrity journeys unfolds, we turn toward the extraordinary rise of Margot Robbie, whose transformation from a small town in Australia to global film stardom exemplifies courage, boldness, and dedication as she chooses diverse roles, navigates the industry with grace, and supports female empowerment in film production while championing creativity and opportunity. And with a gentle cinematic sweep, we glide to Bruno Mars, whose musical evolution, electrifying performances, and heartfelt gratitude for fans showcase the power of joy, discipline, and connection to unite audiences across generations, while also engaging in charitable efforts to uplift communities. And from his vibrant artistry, we drift into the compelling narrative of Jennifer Lawrence, whose evolution from modest beginnings to Academy Award winner demonstrates resilience, authenticity, and humor as she balances career milestones with advocacy for equality, mental health awareness, and support for young creators. And seamlessly, we move toward the magnetic presence of Kim Taehyung of BTS, whose expressive performances, artistic exploration, and sincere connection with fans have made him a global phenomenon, while he remains humble, compassionate, and committed to pushing creative boundaries. And from the world of music, we pivot to the breathtaking achievements of Cristiano Ronaldo, whose dedication to excellence, skillful performance, and quiet philanthropic efforts have transformed his athletic success into a model of perseverance, inspiration, and charitable impact, influencing millions across the globe. And as our journey flows onward, we arrive at the soulful impact of Alicia Keys, whose musical genius, advocacy for self-love, empowerment, and humanitarian work demonstrates how artistry can be paired with compassion to inspire audiences to embrace authenticity, courage, and empathy while supporting communities in need. And from her elegant presence, we drift to Leonardo DiCaprio, whose career of iconic roles and unwavering environmental activism illustrates how fame can be wielded responsibly for global awareness, positive change, and artistic legacy as he consistently encourages conservation, education, and creative storytelling. And with that same energy, we celebrate the empowering presence of Lizzo, whose dynamic performances, fearless self-expression, and body positivity messages encourage fans to embrace confidence, joy, and creativity while she continues to uplift underrepresented communities and promotes social causes, and from her vibrant spirit we shift to the beloved comedic warmth of Steve Carell, whose heartfelt performances, humble personality, and kindness toward fans illustrate the enduring impact of humor, empathy, and authenticity in creating meaningful connections across generations. And as the narrative carries forward, we encounter Anya Taylor-Joy, whose captivating performances, distinctive aesthetic, and dedication to her craft have garnered global admiration. While she supports upcoming talent and encourages authenticity, creativity, and vulnerability in artistic expression, and from her rising influence we flow into Shawn Mendes, whose gentle demeanor, musical passion, and candid approach to emotional well-being have fostered a deep connection with fans, inspiring openness, courage, and the embrace of vulnerability as a source of strength. And with the same global perspective, we recognize the extraordinary courage and advocacy of Malala Yousafzai, whose unwavering dedication to education and human rights has inspired millions worldwide, reminding audiences that influence extends beyond fame to the power of purposeful action and resilience. And gently we arrive at Millie Bobby Brown, whose transition from child star to multifaceted creator demonstrates a thoughtful approach to fame and philanthropy as she engages with fans responsibly and supports initiatives focused on kindness, empowerment, and youth advocacy. And from this wave of youthful inspiration we drift toward the legendary legacy of Paul McCartney, whose decades of musical innovation, humanitarian work, and mentorship for future generations illustrate how creativity, empathy, and persistence can leave a timeless imprint on the world. And with the same spirit of enduring influence, we circle back to Zendaya, whose evolving impact in fashion, film, activism, and philanthropy continues to grow, inspiring millions to embrace confidence, compassion, and the pursuit of excellence. And from her presence, our narrative sweepstick pop sensations 17, whose teamwork, musical innovation, and profound bond with fans showcase how discipline, collaboration, and positivity can propel a group to global recognition, while inspiring countless young people to chase dreams with dedication and heart. And as this vast mosaic of celebrity lives stretches across continents, genres, and decades, it becomes clear that fame is but a vessel for stories of perseverance, resilience, creativity, and connection, illustrating that behind the glitz and glamour lie human journeys filled with growth, challenges, triumphs, and unwavering dedication to our community and impact. And as we carry this journey further, we return once more to Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, whose careers, laughter, generosity, and continued support for one another amid challenges like the Justin Baldoni lawsuit remind us that even in the brightest spotlight, compassion, empathy, and friendship remain essential guiding forces in their lives and in the lives of every star we encounter. If you're intrigued by the world of celebrity and the stories behind the headlines, consider subscribing to the channel. We dive deep into the lives of your favorite stars, and your support helps us bring you more content just like this. Hit that like button if you're ready for the story.